Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at the Panda Pack from Pioneer. Pioneer is a company that's become well known for making some really cool wallets and organizer pouches. I've actually been curious to try these out for a while, and I was particularly excited when Pioneer announced their line of backpacks, as they seem to be, some really sleek, well thought out bags. The Panda Pack in particular really stood out to me. It seemed to have a unique and cool layout, and so in this video I'm going to be talking about what it's been like to use it over the past couple of weeks. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walk through all the features, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing, as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the overall aesthetic, to me the bag has a pretty modern and professional appearance that reminds me of some of the classic Toomey bags that I see in a lot of airports with people that are traveling for work. This feels like it fits in a similar category. It's got a modern look that is going to fit right into an office setting with a nicer outfit. Pioneer has released a couple of different bags. I would say this is probably the least minimal and sleek of their collection. You trade some of that off for the additional functionality that's provided with the organizational layout of this bag, which to me is a good trade-off because the appearance still feels versatile enough to not only work in that office setting, but also for just traveling and exploring a city. As far as the materials, the bag feels very solidly built. This exterior fabric is Pioneer's Mandarin 840D twisted yarn nylon. According to the site, the process that is used to create this leads to a denser and stronger weave. So far in my initial testing, it has felt very durable and comparable to some of the other rugged ballistic nylon that I have seen in many of the bags that I've tested on the channel. Beyond that, it has a DWR finish to provide a nice amount of weather resistance, along with a waterproof membrane to help keep water from getting into the inside. And then you also have some really nice YKK zippers. These are not the style that I tend to prefer in a lot of my bags, as they don't always work that smoothly in my opinion, but so far the experience with this has been fantastic. It's very easy to open and close them, which is what I tend to look for. Continuing along the outside of the bag, you don't have traditional water bottle pockets per se, but you do have these zippered pockets on the outside, which I'll go into a little bit more detail on later in the video, which can work to hold a water bottle. So that's nice to have those. And then at the top, you have a really nice carrying handle. It's got this comfortable sort of additional wrapping on it to give you some just additional comfort, and then the handle itself is made out of this very nice rugged feeling kind of seatbelt like fabric. So really nice implementation there, and then it's great that you can kind of remove this if you don't want to use it, but I tend to leave that on. And then on the exterior, you also have an included luggage tag, which is really nice, just kind of adding to the business travel vibe. You have the ability to remove this. It's great that this is included to help identify your bag. And then one of the cool things about this one is that it is designed to stand up well on its own. So far that has worked out consistently, which is great to see. This is such an important aspect to me in bags nowadays, so that I can place this down next to me and easily access all of the compartments while I'm working or traveling. And then on the branding front, it's pretty minimal and subtle, which is nice. You have the Pioneer logo on the side here, so it blends in nicely with the bag, nothing on the front. And you do have a little bit more on the back panel, which we'll take a look at in a second. And then moving into the capacity, the bag comes in at about 25 liters, which is a really versatile size in my opinion. It's able to hold all the items that I would typically carry with me, even on a longer day, without feeling overwhelmingly big. And then I like that even when the bag is a little bit more packed out, it doesn't feel super bulky, it doesn't stick out too much, which makes it great for navigating crowded areas, jumping onto public transit, and carrying onto pretty much any domestic or international airline. Taking a look at the harness system, so far the bag has been pretty comfortable to wear. You have a nice amount of padding included on the straps. On the inside, you have kind of a softer fabric here. It's not the same as the one on the exterior. It's not a mesh or anything like that, so it's maybe a little softer, not quite as breathable as I would like to see, but still has felt nice. These straps also have a good width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders when it's a little bit more packed out. Don't have a whole lot else going on the straps, so you don't have a sternum strap or attachment point, so a very clean appearance, which I think works well with the rest of the style of the bag. And then as far as the back paneling, this also offers a nice amount of comfort. You have a good amount. And then as far as the back paneling, this also offers a nice amount of comfort, pretty good padding that's well distributed all throughout the back. The fabric here isn't as breathable as some of the air mesh that I normally like to see, but you do have a little bit of elevation here to create this slight air channel, so you do have some ventilation while you're walking around. And then on the back paneling, you also have a nice luggage pass-through that's going to allow you to rest this on a suitcase while traveling to save some weight on your back. And I really like the orientation here, which allows this to actually stand up on the suitcase while you're using it so that you can access all of the compartments and easily grab your device and slide this on and off while you're going through the security line. Jumping into the organizational options, this is definitely an aspect of the bag I was particularly excited to test out, as there seemed to be a nice variety of useful pockets all throughout. Starting off at the front, you have two zippered quick access pockets. I really like that these both have a good amount of volume. I feel like this always makes these pockets more functional and easy to use. It just gives you more flexibility with what you can store. And so at the moment here on this top one, I just have a couple of items resting at the front, like a GoPro. I have my AirPods, a wall adapter, and my Apple Magic Mouse. And even with those items in there, there was still plenty of leftover space if I wanted to place a smaller pouch or just other large items. And then on the back, you have a little slip pocket, which helps divide the compartment up so that you can, easily find other things that you might be looking for. So in the back here, I have a USB-C cable, and then I also have a Field Notes notebook. Below that, you have another slightly larger zippered compartment. One thing about both of these that I really like is that it pairs nicely with the bag standing on its own, so you can open both of these up, easily reach down and access whatever you need. And again, the amount of space that's offered here is impressive and just helps them be much more useful. In this compartment at the moment, I have my alpaca admin pouch, which just has some EDC items that I like to have with me. And then I also was able to fit my Mavic Mini with its hard shell case very comfortably into this compartment. So just a ton of space. You definitely see myself placing some headphones in here, maybe a jacket, a dock kit. So you have a lot of flexibility with how you can use this. In this compartment, again, you have a slip pocket. It's going to be a good spot to hold anything that's a little bit smaller. At the moment, I just placed the Flyfold wallet, which is also from Pioneer. They have a really cool collection of wallets. I was particularly intrigued by the Flyfold because it does have, kind of a traditional bifold sort of style, but it's very slim and it has this very modern technical fabric that feels weather resistant, durable. It's got a nice pattern on it. And then you have a really simple layout with slots on each side. I believe this can still hold up to like 10 or 15 cards or something like that. And it's very easy to get them in and out. You can just kind of combine them into these pockets, and then you also have an area for your bills, which nowadays I don't use as much cash, but particularly when I'm traveling, I still like to have somewhere to store some cash sometimes. So this is a good alternative for anybody who wants kind of a mixture of modern and old school with the wallet. And in this compartment, you also have a little strap that has these button closures, so you can remove it if you want to, and you can attach it to something like a carabiner. Here I have the James brand carabiner, which sometimes has my keys as well. And then on each side of the bag, you have additional zippered pockets. As I mentioned earlier, these are in place of a more traditional water bottle pocket. You can still use them for that. If you have a water bottle that's around 20 ounces, I was able to fit my 20-ounce bottle. I can't zip it closed if it's a little bit of a taller bottle, but you can just rest it in there, which might still be useful if you just want somewhere to hold your water bottle. You could also hold something like an umbrella. At the moment in this compartment, I have a lightning cable and my USB-C hub to charge all of my devices while I'm on the go, but you can see good amount of space there. And then on the other side, at the moment, I just have my sunglasses case, as it's something that I'm grabbing regularly, so that fits in there very easily. But again, because they actually zip all the way shut, I feel like it adds some additional versatility to the compartment for other things that I might want to store and grab quickly. The next area we're going to be taking a look at is the laptop compartment, and I really like that this has a dedicated laptop area. Always easier to grab your device whenever you need to get to it. This is a pretty spacious compartment. At the moment, I have my 13-inch MacBook Air, but you should definitely be able to fit a 15 or 16-inch laptop pretty comfortably. You have a good amount of padding on the back, on the sides. The compartment is not pulled up off the bottom of the ground. There is some padding on the bottom, so you have protection, but it's not as rigid as I would like to see, and it just would have been nice to have this pulled up just a little bit to give some extra peace of mind when you're placing your bag down. A little bit harder, but very easy to get my device in and out. Now the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. You have a nice lining here. It's not a fleece lining, but it does feel like a nice premium lining, and the compartment does come up a decent amount, so if you happen to have a thicker device, should be able to fit in here comfortably. And in general, it feels like it's going to keep your device pretty well protected. I do wish it was suspended off the bottom of the ground. I might recommend using a case with your device to give you a little bit more peace of mind, and with the space that's provided here, you should be able to do so. The last area we're going to be taking a look at is the main compartment, and I did realize that these zippers don't lock in the traditional sense, where they have the little loop that is meant to pair with a cable lock, but these zipper pulls do have the ability to allow you to secure the bag when you're traveling if you want to use a variety of types of locks. And then for the quick access pockets, I also noticed that you have these little pull tabs which you could pair with the zipper pull again, so it's nice that you do have some ability to secure the bag if you want to give yourself a little bit more deterrence against pickpockets. And then opening the main compartment up, this does have a clamshell style opening, so you have full visibility into the 25 liters of space, which again is a really nice capacity. I was able to hold all the items that I would normally carry with me very comfortably. Pretty big, simple, open layout. And so jumping into what I have here at the moment, at the top I have my Beats Studio wireless headphones with their hard shell case. I have what is basically like a packable jacket. This is the type of size for one of my Patagonia jackets. It would fold down into something like that. And then I have the Evergoods Civic Access pouch, 2 liter, which is one of my larger pouches. I have the Bellroy Tech Kit, just to kind of toss in a bunch of pouches to show the space. And then here I have the Global pouch, which is from Pioneer. And this has been a very cool pouch to use. I'd always been curious about it. The material on it looks super unique and durable, which is the case, offers a nice amount of weather resistant. I like that it's not super rigid. So this is the type of pouch that I really enjoy using, particularly in a bag where there's not as much space. It can really just squeeze into a bunch of different areas. And so that is definitely the case here. It's offered in 2 sizes. It has a well-protected and locking YKK zipper that goes all the way around. And then the layout of this pouch is definitely the type that I look for in these organizers, because it offers the right amount of organization without going overboard with a ton of different slots and pockets that I don't normally use that much. So you have 2 larger slip pockets on each side that are going to be great for things like your mouse, a charging cable and wall adapter, a laptop charging brick. I have the cables, and then you have these open areas on each side as well that'll be great for bulkier items like a battery bank or any other type of adapter that you might be carrying. And you have this little zippered pocket in the middle, which is going to be a great spot for anything small that you don't want floating around. I just have a USB in there and then an AirTag to keep with my bag. So, really just simple, useful layout. It stands up fairly well on its own. I imagine as I start to take items out and the weight gets a little unbalanced, it might tip a little bit, but actually it's pretty stable here upon initial usage. So just a really great, thoughtful layout here. Very durable, super versatile pouch. You can use it for your tech stuff or your toiletries. And then the last thing I have here on the inside in the slip pocket that the compartment has at the bottom is just a book that I'm rereading, but you could use that to store a tablet, notebook. And this doesn't have a ton of padding per se. It's just a straightforward slip pocket, but really nice to have some separation. Then it just kind of rests against the back when it's not in use. On the inside, you have some attachment points that you could pair with maybe some carabiners or additional compatible accessories. And then on the back you see the Pioneer sort of information, the material info, and just a really nice lining. I like that there's a little bit of contrast so that it's not all completely blacked out. And then this would definitely be enough space if I wanted to use this as a minimal travel bag to toss in a packing cube, my dot kit, an extra pair of shoes, and I could just use this for a longer weekend trip. Taking a look at the front flap of this main compartment, you have some additional organization. First up at the top, you have a pretty tall slip pocket. I don't know that this was actually intended to be used as a place for my tablet, but I've found that it's actually quite nice to be able to just open this up and grab it straight from the top, as it's something that I'm using fairly regularly. Could be a good spot for a notebook or a Kindle. And then in this area, you also have, these two zippered pockets that have a nice sort of elastic, high quality mesh. So it'll mold around the items that are on the inside, and you have a good amount of volume even for something a little bit bulkier. At the moment I just have a deck of playing cards and then a nail clipper set, but definitely a good spot for other toiletries, for tech items, anything that you want easily accessible when the bag is open. And at the bottom you have a secondary compartment with that same material. So it feels really nice. I don't tend to use these zippered pockets at the bottom because that's where all my pouches are. But if you don't use as many pouches or you want to take advantage of this, it's there if you need it, and then they both stay out of the way if you don't. So in general, I really like the layout and space offered in this main area, and the design all throughout the bag. Everything feels really well thought out. Lots of functionality here. I've enjoyed using it a ton. And if you're looking for a professional, high quality bag that's gonna offer a very useful organizational layout and be with you for a long time to come, this is gonna be a really cool option to take a look at. And so to wrap up, it's been a pretty great experience testing out the Panda Pack over the past couple of weeks. You can currently purchase this on the company site for around $425, so definitely premium pricing on this one. It is a pretty big investment. You are getting a very solidly built bag. It's got the proprietary fabric. A lot of work went into creating this one. It's got a nice feature set, but there's also gonna be some other great bags in this price range that may be worth considering. And so as I was testing this out, one of the first bags this made me think of is the Pioneer backpack from Troubadour. I've talked about that one a couple of different times pretty recently on the channel. I included it in my favorite work/gym bags roundup video. I used it on a recent trip. It's just a really great personal item sized bag that works well for your day-to-day. It's got a very sleek, modern aesthetic, great build quality. I really love the well-protected, aqua-guarded zippers that it has. It's got a comfortable harness, an excellent luggage pass-through, good water bottle pockets. It doesn't have maybe quite as many organizational options as this one here, but still, just very easy to access everything when I need it. One of the unique aspects about that bag is that it also has a dedicated shoe compartment, which is what helps make it really nice gym bag if you're trying to find something to combine both. So if you're looking for a work/travel backpack that's gonna offer a little bit more of a modern, professional aesthetic, and that's gonna be one of the best options to take a look at. Another bag this made me think of is the Air City Pack Pro, which has been one of my favorite tech and everyday bags of the past couple of years. I'm a big fan of Air's modern, sleek aesthetic. I really like that one has a clamshell style opening, much like this one. A really nice organizational layout in general, a well padded and suspended laptop compartment. It's got a really comfortable harness system, luggage pass-through, so it checks off a lot of the same types of boxes as this one here. It's offered in a couple of different colors and fabrics, so that might be something interesting to keep an eye on. And so if you're looking for something kind of like this, but that has maybe a little bit more of a different aesthetic and layout, and the suspended laptop compartment, then that's gonna be an excellent option to consider. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Timbuk2 Authority Pack Deluxe, which is one of my favorite tech bags that comes in at a little under $200, I believe, or right around that price point. It's a very comfortable bag. It's got a great harness system, luggage pass-through. That's a top-loading bag, so it doesn't open up flat, but it still has a lot of nice organization all throughout. It's got a little bit more of a modern, sleek aesthetic, kind of like the ones that I've been mentioning, so it's gonna work well if you're taking something into the office. It's got a dedicated, well-padded laptop compartment, so just pretty similar as far as the use cases that it might work for. And if you have a little bit of a tighter budget and you want something reliable, comfortable, then that's gonna be an excellent option to take a look at. With that being said, the Panda Pack holds up pretty well against all those options and is a really impressive first-time outing for Pioneer as far as dropping a new line of bags. There is a ton of stuff that I like here around the organization, the durability, the functionality. You can tell that a lot of thought really went into the features that were included in this bag. And if you're looking for something sleek and durable and you have a little bit of a higher budget, then this is gonna be an excellent option to check out. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the Panda Pack and the other bags in Pioneer's lineup. If there's any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank Pioneer for sending the bag and accessories for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.